Namaste, this is Rishikesh Writings and it's Anand, and today we are with two super soul. One is Dr. Bruce Lipton and I don't know how to pronounce the German name.
Yeah, you're very sorry. Schmidlin.
Schmidlin,
yeah.
Dr. Bruce and Schmidlin, how's your...
Joseph Schmidlin.
Joseph Schmidlin and Dr. Bruce, how's this journey start of life of transformation? Biology in you and
Osteopathic medicine.
Let my doctor friend go first.
So can you repeat the question?
Yeah, my question is how you come into this path of the medicine, a natural medicine.
Well, for me, I came in through the engineering door. I was an engineer working with machines and building machines, autoclaves for the pharmaceutical industry. And at the same time, I was playing sports. And I had knee injuries, so I was always in physical therapy. And then I figured out that I enjoyed the body much more than the machines. And also, early on, I'm like, what am I going to do with my life? And I said I want to be part of the human potential movement. That was an inner decision that I made. And then one thing led to another, and I started studying with the old osteopaths, and then I just wanted more education, so I went deep into it, did a lot of dissection work to learn about the body, and had a clinical practice for 25 years, and that's where I really learned, because my clients and patients taught me how to do the work. And I showed up with my hands and some of the science, but it wasn't about the science. I think that's what
how's your the biology journey start as a scientist?
Yeah, well, as a kid, I was very much interested in nature. And so for me, just being out in the world and the sunlight and trees and the flowers and all, it just was like, this is beauty to me. So I went into school to study science. Then I became a professor in a medical school where I was teaching medical students. At the time, I was teaching them the story that genes control life, which most people believe. But my research was on what we call stem cells, which are cells in your body that help you heal. My research showed that the fate of a stem cell, should it become a muscle cell, a bone cell, a brain cell, a skin cell? It's an embryonic cell. Which one should it become? Well, we always say genes determine that, and it turns out my research showed it was not the genes that control the cell. It was the environment in which the cells live. So I could put genetically identical cells in different environment, but their fate was different. They all had the same genes, but some become muscle, some become bone, some become fat, based on the environment. And all of a sudden I said, oh my goodness, I'm teaching medical students that genes control life. And the research said, no, that's not true. Environment controls life. So there was a point where I had to say, I cannot teach in the medical school anymore because my finding wasn't in the textbook. And so I can't teach what my findings are, I have to teach what's in the book. But I already knew genes do not control life. It's two things, environment and how we see the environment, our perception. I say, so why is it important? And very simply, the story of genes control your life, you're a victim of your heredity. Oh, there's cancer in the family, I'm gonna get a cancer gene, or heart disease, I'm gonna get a heart disease. I go, that's the belief that genes control life. And that makes you a victim because you didn't pick the genes, you can't change them, and they control you. But my research showed the environment controlled the genes. I said, well, yeah, but I can change the environment. I can change how I respond to the environment. And I said, but that's what controls the genes. And all of a sudden I said, oh, we're not victims. We can be masters. Because if we know how we see the world and how the environment is influenced, we can choose what we see. We can choose the environment. And all of a sudden it says, and we choose our genetics. And so we are not victims. We are masters of our lives.
That's a very interesting topic to share. And doctor, how this natural medicine heal the life of the human being?
That's the question, really, and to interface with that question, I think is really what we want to do. And as osteopath, I was taught three principles. One, that structure and function are interrelated. So we have our structure and we have our function, and it's really the same thing as saying energy and matter are interrelated. Second piece, really important piece, is that the body's self-corrective and self-healing.
Yes.
And the third principle is that we're one unit of function. So we can look at one single body as one unit of function and limit ourselves there, or we can say, okay, we're a group of three, we create a body, we're one unit of function. We're a city, we create a city, we're a unit of function, and we just expand that out to the whole universe, really. So we're one body of function, which leads us to Om, which is the sound work, which we're all one.
Like we said in Sanskrit, like Om is made up of three elements like A, U, Ama, and same it is Triguna, like Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva.
Yes, yeah.
So these teachings of the osteopaths of the 200 years or so, really they're the same. These teachings were around thousands of years ago, just in a different form. So now we put some science on, but as I think Bruce would agree, science is really contemporary mysticism.
It's evolving over time, and when science stops evolving and they say that's the answer, that's when we're in trouble, because we don't have the answer, and the answers change. So as you were talking about in osteopathy, to me it's very important because it really deals with environment, and this is what the new science is all about. We're creators, we're not victims, but you create based on how you respond to the world. So if you change how you respond to the world, you change your function. And as we talked about, when function changes, structure changes, and so everything is connected in this sense. And for me, the big change was to recognize quantum physics. And people go, quantum physics, oh, that's, what the heck is that? It's so complicated. I go, let's simplify. The old physics, called Newtonian physics, took the universe and split it in two and said, there's matter and invisible energy. So we split the universe into two. Quantum physics said, no, the universe is not two, it's just energy. And energy is vibration. And all of a sudden it says, so you can have a good vibe or you can have a bad vibe. I say, yeah, but if the vibration is giving shape to the life, then good vibes gives you health, bad vibes take away your health, vibration. So as we were talking, your work into vibration and music and sound is a more direct way of evolving the body without side effects. Right. It's not drugs, it's not chemistry, it's higher than drugs and chemistry. It's the highest form of healing, is healing with energy. And listen, before medical schools, 10,000 years, people always healed with energy. They didn't have pharmaceuticals, they didn't have medicine school. They healed by touch and talk. Music was healing.
The indigenous tribes with the rattles.
The rattles, drumming and chanting and all of that. And that's where real healing comes from. It turns out the pharmaceutical companies are actually taking away health, because with all the side effects of the drugs and how many people die from taking pharmaceutical drugs, the number is so big, it's like shocking.
Yeah, well, Bruce, I don't know if you've heard this before, but the osteopaths say that the brain function and like the hypothalamus and beyond that is God's drugstore. So anything that can be created outside in a laboratory can be created inside our brain.
That's 100%, because I tell the people the same thing. I say, for a drug to work, when you take the drug in the body, there has to be something called a receptor, a protein on a cell that can see the drug, and the drug binds to the protein and changes the cell. So then I say, so you got a receptor for a drug, you mean God put the receptor in there waiting for the pharmaceutical company to make a drug? I go, no. If you already have a receptor, you already have the ability to make the natural drug that fits that receptor. So instead of going out and buying a drug, and I hope this is what you in osteopathy is all about, is that if I'm having a problem, why am I not making the drug?
Right.
And then that says, well, let's fix the consciousness, let's fix the biology inside. So if I start making the drugs that I need, I don't have to buy a drug from the outside. I make all the drugs, because a drug can only work if there's a receptor already there. And as I said, God didn't put receptors in there to wait for some drug company.
Right. It's yin and yang. It's not just yang. Yeah. Right. You're saying, if you have the female receptor, you have to have the male masculine counterpart.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And so again, the pharmaceutical company tries to match what we can make, but is never as good or direct or organized to be effective as your own system can handle the drugs much better.
And one thing I think about in my work is the body has to humanize the drug. Even plants, we say herbs are great, and they are, because plants are much closer to humans than chemistry.
Yeah.
But even with plant matter, we have to humanize that and shift that into something this body can actually understand and work with.
Absolutely.
And with drugs, there's a big gap between that.
My question is, another question is, how are you going to tell the Indian public, because nowadays we are losing the Ayurveda, and more the India is going toward the allopathy, like the pharmaceutical industry.
Now the question is, in my perception, is simple. Which one gives better healing, Ayurvedic or pharmaceutical?
It's better healing given by the Ayurveda, and the pharmaceutical drugs which we eat, they give one healing effect, and after that they give a bad healing effect also for the human body.
Right.
Like there is a medicine called a Brufen, which is still selling in India.
Yeah.
By the way, this medicine is already banned in USA, but the people is still eating in India, which is like people buy in 500 mg of tablet.
Yeah, but they buy
kind
this.
Of painkiller.
But they buy this for what reason? Because advertising. The drug company says, "Oh, you got this problem. We have the drug for you." And people say, "Oh, I got that problem. I just want to buy the drug. So it's easy. I don't have to do anything. I just buy the drug." I go, "No." As you just said, the drug might help in some level, but almost all drugs, when you buy a drug, says side effect. This is bad. This is bad. I say in my teachings, I say it's not called side effect. It's direct effect.
Right.
The drug, this is not an accident if it causes a problem. It's the drug causes the problem. And when people, if you read the side effects, it's like, why would I want to take that drug? It can make me sicker than I was before I took the drug. And people, just the advertising, money, pictures of, oh, here's a sick person, and now look, they took the drug and see how healthy and happy and everything. Oh, I want the drug. And so that is taking people's money. And then some people say, oh, the drug company is here to help us, and I go, no, the drug company is here to help them
to make money.
They make money. They don't care if you get better or not. Matter of fact, they don't want you to get better.
So like there was a research of the cancer before that the cancer can heal by itself.
It always did.
But they make a medicine to sell that, so people, the companies can make a profit.
Exactly, and the fact is, cancer is not due to genetics, and structure and function come here and says what? Cancer is like a mirror, a reflection of you're not living in harmony. And people say the cancer cell's the problem. I say, no, the cancer is just showing you have a problem. You can take the cancer cells out, but if you don't fix the problem, the cancer will come back. That's what people don't understand.
Right.
I say, who does not get the cancer after they have the cancer? I say, the people who learn, oh my God, my life has caused the cancer. My anger, my unhappiness, or whatever this caused the cancer. So what do? They change their life. Then the cancer goes away. But the one who says, oh, the cancer was stupid cells, I take the cells out, okay, I'm supposed to be better. I say, no, you just get another cancer. That's all. You didn't deal with it.
It's allopathy versus holistic medicine.
Exactly.
You're not dealing with the root cause, you're dealing with the symptoms. So.
Absolutely.
So is a natural medicine, you give a treatment, is these medicine heal a subconscious level?
It does, and ideally what you're doing is you're guiding the person into their own healing responses.
Yeah.
So and as an osteopath, really my job is to find the health. I'm not looking for disease. I had to study disease and understand pharmacology and medicine just so I understand how the body works. But I'm not looking for disease. I'm looking for health. Where's the health?
Yeah.
And I have to surrender to that because I don't know, and I have to meet each person where they're at. Also,
yes,
it has to be a one-on-one because the reason person A gets cancer can be totally different and is totally different than person B, C. You have to look at the person as a whole person, help them connect with their health, which we know is in there. I believe this principle.
Yes.
I know it to be true.
Me too.
And you know where you can connect it is in the stillness.
Yeah.
So this brings us to meditation. It brings us to India.
It's just a yoga.
Yoga, finding that still place connects the subconscious to the conscious, and once the subconscious knows everything that's wrong with you, we have this idea. We work with inner physician, so we have everyone has their own inner physician, and what you want to do is you want to connect, and that's in the person's subconscious. So you want to connect them with their inner physician. Let the ahas, let the answers come from them if possible.
Yeah.
Much better than you telling them what to do, because you may not know. There's some infinite possibilities of what they need to do to cure this cancer.
Many different things can cause a cancer, but if you think there's only one cause of cancer, then you're missing so many other things. So as you were just talking about, it's very critical. It's like two people can have the same cancer, but for totally different reasons. So if I'm going to try to heal one person and then use the same process to heal the other one, I say, no, but the other one had a different way the cancer came. So I can't use the same one treatment to treat cancer. Each person is their own case.
Own medicine.
Its own medicine.
Like I think of it as a constellation. They're their own constellation, so we have to connect the dots and help them connect back to source, where the healing potential is.
Yeah. My another question is, how important Rishikesh is in both of your life?
Rishikesh is actually, sometimes they talk about a teacher, they called singing to the choir, meaning the choir already knows the music, and the teacher is just, we're all going to sing the music. And it's funny because when people come to Rishikesh, they come already knowing that they need to have a consciousness, they need their mind to be controlled. And so the yoga exercises are all these programs of how do you take your mind and put the power back in your mind. So when I come here, for me it's wonderful because I'm already among all these people who know that love and health and harmony is all due to the consciousness, and that in doing yoga exercises, you get power over the consciousness. You're not a victim of your consciousness, you become the master of your consciousness. So Rishikesh to me is a place that I come and I say, look at all these people getting better. And I say, why? Because when they get better and they go back into the world, they take with them the energy and the consciousness of yoga and bring it to wherever they are. And they're like medicine for other people. So this is like training doctors in a sense, not medical doctors, consciousness doctors.
Yeah.
And this is like a school for consciousness.
And how about your experience?
Well, you reminded me of this quote. Thomas Edison, I believe, said the doctor of the future is going to interest his clients in the anatomy and the physiology and the structure and taking care of their body. But one day I'm looking at that, because I have it in my office wall, and I'm like, that's actually not true. The doctor of the future is the patient or the client or the person. We're all our own doctors. So this is the doctor of the future. And when we come to Rishikesh as like yogis and seekers and that, like Bruce said, we're amplifying our field and we're going to take that out into the world, and we become vibrational medicine. Basically, we're tuning ourselves. And the rishis have come here for thousands of years. So just sitting at the banks of the Ganga,
you get an energy from the past.
It's an energy from the past.
Right, And it's interesting because of a famous guy who didn't get as much credit as he should is Tesla.
Tesla.
And Tesla said, when people learn about the role of energy and vibration, I think it advanced science 100,000 years or something. It would be the greatest advance of science and medicine. Is when we understand the power of vibration and consciousness. And that's where we have to wake up, get away from the pharmaceutical. Give me the chemistry of healing? No. Give me the consciousness of healing.
And Tesla was a humanitarian also. He cared more about the humanity than making a lot of profits.
Money,
And
that cost him his job.
It cost him his job. And
because the people that invested in him were thinking, if I give this guy money and he does the research, I'm going to get more money from his research. And Tesla was saying, I want to make research and give everything for free.
Free energy.
And the people that were giving him money saying, I don't think I want to give you any money, because if I'm not going to make money, why should I give you the money?
So at the end, that's what message we would like to convey with your teachings and the therapies to the humanity.
This is exactly what I would say, humanity. Put your efforts towards humanity and not as much personal gain. And really, Bruce said it beautifully earlier as we were walking up here. He said, I'm just a conduit, and I let the information come in, and then I give it. And that's what really is my wish for myself and what I've been working on, unconsciously and then consciously my whole life, is to just be a hollow tube for humanity and to serve. It'll bring happiness to all. And then,
The beautiful part of bringing happiness to all is if you're surrounded by happy people, you become one of the happy people too. So if you can heal everyone around you, you're in the middle of health and happiness. You are like guided with this wonderful energy. So, like we've been talking about, we don't make the healing. We give power to the person to make their own healing. And that's, to me, is the most wonderful thing, because we're teachers. And I think doctor or somewhere the word or something comes from teacher in the first place. But we're teaching self-empowerment, not, here, take the drug so the guy can make some money over here. We don't do that.
Yeah.
We want people to be free. We're like Tesla. We're going to lose our job.
Okay. I'm working to lose my job. I'm getting people out of my office so I can go lay on the beach.
That's a good idea, because once it's done, then the heaven is on earth.
Then and that's what we're looking for anyway, I believe. Inside.
That's absolutely what it's all about.
Yeah.
Cool, but it was nice speaking with both of you scientists.
Thank
here.
you.
Yeah.
Thanks for being in Rishikesh.
Well, I want to thank you, because by giving us a chance to talk to more people.
Yeah.
That's what we do for a living, is to try to bring health to people and talking to them. So we want to thank you, because then you could take our message and bring it to many more people than we would see.
Yeah.
And so thank you for an opportunity for us to help other people.
Yeah, thank you for Hannah, who's filming us.
Ananda, thank you, Hannah.
Thank you.
So guys, we will meet you with the next guest in our show in Rishikesh Writings. So keep watching, subscribe, share, and we bring the new things with a new energy in every new interview in Rishikesh. And if you need any help regarding to Rishikesh, yoga teacher training, retreats, and happening around the city, so you can write us at rishikeshwritings@gmail.com, or you directly follow us our page in Facebook and YouTube. Namaste.
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 Keep up the great work.